Somebody had an idea to make a slinky. Do you remember what a slinky was? It was that toy that was like a coil, like this. And what would happen is that it just kind of walked on its own. Boom, 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 boom. And you know what? It stretched like an accordion. Like an accordion. Because it was just a coil. And you know what? Somebody told the gentleman who had the idea to make this slinky, this toy, that he was out of his mind. He was crazy. Who's going to buy something stupid like that? That's crazy. No kid is going to want that. And then he came up with this idea. It's slinky, 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 it's slinky. This accordion, this coiled toy for all the kids to use. And oh my God, some people said, you got to be crazy. A child's going to get hurt. I mean, it's metal, for God's sake. And you know what? He never stopped his plan, his idea. He just continued to move forward with everything that he put on paper to make this slinky. His idea was not just a temporal idea. It was something that he had, and he had the mind within that idea to keep it going. It was a passion. This is just something that I believe in. He said, I believe in this thing, and I'm going to do it. And you know what? Opposition was what he was met with. So what are we saying today on Pitchwise? You will have opposition. You're going to have so many people come against you just because you have this wonderful idea, or an idea that you think is so wonderful. Yeah. And there are going to be people to say it's stupid, it's ugly, it's not going to work, you're not going to make any money. Why don't you think of something else? Go get a job. Go take care of somebody. Isn't it amazing how people will just come out the woodwork? It'll be family members, it'll be friends, it'll be co-workers from a previous job, or maybe from the job you're on right now. It'll be churchgoers. Ooh, yeah, churchgoers. There's always going to be a dream killer or dream killers. But what does that mean? What does that mean to you? Should that mean anything to you if you are a person who is committed, convinced, and content in who you are and what you want? Come on. Those are the 3 C's. You need that if you're going to be an entrepreneur. So you know what? We can't allow, as entrepreneurs, every wind, every storm, rain, obstacles. We can't allow these different things that just come out of the blue or out of nowhere to stop us from moving forward. So if you have that idea, that one, it might be even 2, for some it's 3 or 4, but you take that one and you run with it to the best of your ability, regardless to the opposition that you will face or that you may be facing. You will come out a winner. Remember, you're already a winner. You really are. You're already a winner. Now, Pitchwise, this is Pitchwise, right? So even before you get to make that pitch before these people, with your idea, like this gentleman did with the slinky, you got to be able to stand. You got to be able to stand against the opposition, those very people that are around you. Some of them are just jealous of you. Some of them just like, Well, that's not a way to make any money. How are you gonna live? You know, how are you gonna survive? I mean, and they're like, I'm not gonna support you. They won't even come out and say it. But then there'll be like maybe some family members who will say, I'm not gonna support you. And, you know, even if there's this situation where you had in the past, you might have borrowed some money from someone, or you might have had a need or whatever, and someone helped you meet that need. You will be surprised at the same people that helped you meet a need in the past, because you come up with this idea that they don't approve. They don't approve of it. Will not even, you know, give you the benefit of the doubt and be like, you know, I'm 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 not going to support you. I'm not. You're not even thinking about them support. You're like, oh, you know what? I got this great idea, and you know what? I just wanted to share it with you and tell you about it. I'm so excited, and already they're just throwing the darts and the arrows, and it's the negativity and the whole nine. It's not even like, yo, you know, I'm so happy for you. That's really cool. See, we, you know, we should be in the vein of, you know, letting people say what they want to say, even if it's those that we love, like to the moon. Let them say what they want to say, you know, and have that leather, tough skin, you know, and that mindset, that understanding that even if they don't agree or they don't want to hear what it is that I'm saying, I can't, you won't let them stop you or put such a damper on you that you just take your idea and put it on the shelf for good. Now, let me say this. There are times when, like, you see this is electrical tape. Imagine that this is the idea. Sometimes things happen and we have to put it on the shelf temporarily. It doesn't mean that we aborted the idea or aborted the idea of using this tape in some project or whatever. No, you just put it on the shelf because there's some other pressing issues. And, you know, you get back to it, or you take a little time. Like when you started, you did like maybe 5 hours, 6 hours, you know, in planning, plotting, writing down, navigating, researching, you know, materials and talking to people and trying to find out who the audience would be, or who would your customers be, and you know, all these different things. You took like 5 or 6 hours like every day, and for some people take the whole day. Some people are the 24-hour people, you know, 24 hours, not 7 days a week. Some people, I mean, everybody's different, you know, but we don't want to call that crazy just because everybody is different. Everybody's toleration level is completely different. So you used to stay up 5, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, whatever, and now you put it on a shelf temporarily. And now you're, you know, checking things out maybe about an hour a day or 2 hours. It doesn't mean that you aborted anything. It just means that, you know, you're moving in a different flow, but you still have your project, your goal in mind. You're still focused, and you're also dealing with other aspects of life as they come along. And as I stated, everybody's tolerance level is completely different. And then the way we deal with problems in life, which is connected to what you will tolerate and what you won't tolerate, what you can do and what you won't do, what you should do and should not do. You know, those things are connected with each other, which give you, you know, what you need to make a decision that's going to be right for you. The main thing is focus. Focus. And when that, you know, door slams in your face, and when that negativity comes and hits you from the people that you love, you will be able to stand. Come on. Pitch wise. What's the pitch for today? What is the pitch for today? You just look at, a pitcher on a ball field, a baseball player who's a pitcher. He has to stand there with the ball, right? And the batter is up. So the batter is like this, getting ready to hit. And he's watching that pitcher, and the pitcher is, with the ball back and forth, like getting ready to throw it. And he throws it, whoosh, and the batter goes whoosh, and hits that ball. But what happens really with that, just look at it this way. When the pitcher is rearing up to throw the ball, that means he's setting his sights on a goal. He wants it to be so straight. He wants it to be in a place where the batter can actually hit the ball, right? Hit the ball, right? Now, look at it this way for a moment. I see another side to it. Pitchers also will throw, right? And the batter will hit and miss, right? Does the batter just stop right there? The game is 3 strikes. Ooh, 3 strikes, you're out, right? So the pitcher is going to pitch and he's going to do his best. And the batter has to make a decision to swing at the ball that best suits him, to get the job done, which means to hit that ball across that field so that the runners can be on base and make home runs or score. And if there's nobody on the base and it's just him, he has to hit it, in such a manner that will give him enough time to make the bases, right? Go through the process to get home. If the ball is hit far across the field, now remember, the pitcher pitched him this ball, and he himself has to be able to tolerate that pitch. He has to be like, you know what, this is the one I'm going to swing at. Bow! Or this is the one that I'm not going to swing at. And whatever faces him, come what may, he still has to do his work. He still has to complete the task. He still has to do what needs to be done in order to move forward. And if it's 3 strikes, you're out, and he misses all 3, it's not really the end of the day. You know why? Because he did what? He took a swing. Come on, he took a swing. He took a swing. And even though somebody else said, you're out, it was still mission accomplished. He might not have made it on a plate. First base, second base, third base, home. But he still was able to do what he needed to do as far as being that player or the player in the game of baseball. He swung at what was pitched to him. He swung at the pitch. He swung at the pitch. So, what does all this mean? That gentleman who had the idea to make the slinky, that coily accordion type of toy, he swung at every pitch that was thrown at him. Every ball that was thrown at him, he swung at it. Meaning that these people, friends, co-workers, loved ones, churchites, everybody that may have been against him, right? With that pitch, right? He was able to swing at it. Not necessarily in the sense of, well, you know what, I don't care what you say, like that. He had to use wisdom. He had to use a sense of, just firmness, a firm stance, but not so much to argue, not so much to fight. Because when you know who you are, whose you are, what you have, and you have an idea of where you're going, whatever is said to you, it's not really going to matter. It matters in this sense. Let me say this. It matters in this sense because, those persons, like I said, may be dear to you. But then again, it does not matter because you are so focused, moving forward, that what they say has to be like duck's water, just dripping or wiped off of your back, because you know where you're going. You know what it is that you desire with this thing, this idea that's seemingly so stupid, so ridiculous, so like crazy. But you see that there's some credibility to it. There's some validity to it. You see that it's something good. Something good. So even if a pitch comes to you, because that's what it is on the other side, a pitch. They're pitching to you like, no, you shouldn't. Don't. Why? No. Are you kidding me? What? Just stop right here. McDonald's is hiring. Look, they may have the best intent or intentions in mind, but it's not for you at the moment. Now, let me say this. There's nothing wrong with taking a work assignment while you're still investing in your dream, investing in your goal. There's nothing wrong with that. If you can fit it in, do it. But listen, do something that's going to make you happy. Do something that's going to bring you some joy when you do it. Joy. It's important. Because you know what? You can be in a work assignment. It could be McDonald's. It could be Hudson News. It could be Target. It could be a janitor, at a Metro North station. If you're not able to do it and do it with joy, literally, or do it, to the extent that you're okay and you're happy with it, then you know what? It's not worth it. Why would you take something as a work assignment that's going to make you upset and going to make you like, and then you got to go home and you're like, oh my God, are you kidding me? These people, and it wears on you to the point where you just can't function. Your mental state is tapped. It's just tapped out, spinning. You don't want that. So try to find something, in a work assignment, that's gonna, make you feel happy, joyous. It's a pleasure to do this, rewarding or whatever. And even if it's just something that you just like, you know what I'm saying? Not that you love it, but you like it. That's a good thing. And understand you too are going to have opposition on the job. I like to say at work, but sometimes it's just a job to people. A job. But you got to be careful with that. You got to be selective because you want the best for yourself, always moving forward. And it's not just, well, I got to make this money because blah, 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 blah. And you getting jacked up along the way. It's just not, not worth it. It really isn't. Well, I gotta. Listen, taking 5 jobs to make your idea or your dream come into fruition may not be the best thing. Especially if you're not getting sleep at night, you're not eating, you're not able to really function like you want to function mentally in terms of, engaging the idea, engaging what's going to be done with the idea, or making the ultimate plan for it or whatever. I mean, listen, apples and oranges, you might get $500 more, but is that worth your sleep? Is that worth your me time, your personal time? What's the pitch? Pitch wise, what's the pitch? So you're actually throwing yourself a lemon. You're throwing your own self a lemon. So, if I could just make that extra $50, and then when you go to like the second job or the third job, you just out of it. So how does that translate into, being an entrepreneur? Come on. Especially if those work assignments that you chose, or put it this way, job assignments that you chose, are just wearing you out. As an entrepreneur, right? You're excited about your endeavors, your ideas, your goals, your creativity, your innovations. You're just, wow, and it's a passion. So that when you stay up for 4 hours or 5 hours or 8 hours or 9 hours and you're doing your thing, sometimes you're not even conscious about the time. You're just sitting there, you're just doing it. Now, that does not equate to being bipolar. Come on, let me tell you that. Some some might say that that's, a clear example of someone who's bipolar, but I kind of see it a little bit different. You're just into what you're doing and you love it. You can have the music on, you're doing your thing, and then you go, wow, I started at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's like 8 o'clock. Oh, wow, I didn't even know it was so late, And that's what happens when you're, enveloped, or when you're saturated with that entrepreneurial spirit, the spirit of go, do my own thing, be my own boss. This is my idea. I believe in it and I believe in me. What? It doesn't matter what the people say. And it's not so much that I'm not hearing or listening to what it is that they're saying to me. That's what you should be saying. But what it is that I hear it. And what I can use, I will use. And what I cannot use, I will trash. It's important to empty the trash. Empty the trash. Even in those hours that you spend by yourself with your creative entity, with your innovation, with your idea, the mock-up for it. You still have to hone it, prune it. What does prune mean? Take away what doesn't work. But you don't know, or you won't know what works or what doesn't work unless you're putting time into it. So those 8 hours, 7 hours are not for nothing, right? So as you put time in it, there's going to be some things you're like, no, that's not going to do it. Boom. No, that's too long. No, you know what? I can use a different material. Or if I use another type of material, then it will be conducive for children. I see that this might not work because it doesn't have, that real slinky effect long, and then come back together. And that's what I really want. I want it to look like and be like a caterpillar that walks on its own and comes back in. That was the slinky. So, did you get that? Did you get that example? And whatever it was and is that you have decided won't work with that idea, that dream product, you take it and you throw it away. And if by chance you could maybe use a little bit of it later on, you store it. But it's important to prune away so that you can see. Sometimes things are obscure, which means it's just a clouded thing. And then when you remove what it is that you don't need anymore or that has no use, you can see better. And with all of that, make sure that you jot things down. Keep a running note about what you're doing so that you can go back and you can look at it and say, oh, okay, I did that, that didn't work, this worked, and okay, tomorrow is going to be this because I already dealt with that, on last night, because it keeps you organized. And as an entrepreneur, you need to be organized to the best of your ability. You need to be organized. There's always going to be a learning. It's a learning process. There's always going to be something to learn. You're always going to be engaged in the learning process. And you know what? There's no real roadmap. Just like there's no roadmap really to raising a child. But this entrepreneurial endeavor, this idea, this dream, it's a child. It's your child. And you could be at various stages. You could be in the birthing pain stage where it's just about to come out, or you could be just in its inception. Like, wow, the light went on. I got this great idea. You could be at various stages, the beginning, the middle, or the end. Time, putting time in, and timing, and what you do with it, what you do with that time, in that timing, is important. So get that pad out, get that recorder for some of you, jot it down. It's like, oh, wow, I got it in my head. I got it. I got it here. That's great. But didn't we say that you're going to be met with opposition? So what will opposition do? Or what can opposition do? Opposition can just make everything boop, disappear for a little while. It can. It can. But if you have it written down, you can go back and say, oh, dang, you know what? I forgot I wrote this. I got it. And then you're back on track again. So the pitch, whoop, was a home run. You were successful. So if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you got to be able to withstand the pitches, the various pitches that come at you in life. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you got to be able to use your time wisely. You got to be able to investigate. You got to be able to navigate, write some things down, try out different things, see what's going to work, see what won't work, what works, and move forward. So listen, this is Pitchwise for Radcast Radio. Listen, we'll be back with you next week, 6 p.m. for Pitchwise. Signing out.